It's the Juice Report. Look, man, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. This show is as real as it gets. Yo, welcome back to my show. You know who it is. It's your boy, Jonathan, the Juice Man Presley. And we gonna do this right. I feel like I didn't start it the proper way last time, so we're gonna bring this the right way, with that right type of energy. So let me introduce my new co-host. This guy's a football coach. This guy plays sports. This man does everything. He's a mentor in the community. We're gonna get deep. Without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce my man, Rosie, in the building. Say what's up, Rosie.
What's good, everybody? What's good?
Getting that little, yeah, there it is. Hey, you know what? I just want to give you the proper respect because, I felt like I didn't do it the proper way last time. I was very excited. And what people don't know, like the first show after coming off a long stint, I had some technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying? And
Understood. And
it kind of like threw everything off. I wasn't properly in the proper mind state to start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but we here now.
Yeah, it's all good. Just knocking out them kinks.
And we got a special show today, fellas and ladies, and everybody that's listening. I want appreciate you guys listening to. You can always check me out on Spotify, iHeart. Gonna be on iTunes here soon. Check me out on Spreaker, YouTube. Mm-hmm. We trying to be everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Trying to be everywhere. So to be everywhere, we gotta make sure we bring you guys some good stuff to listen to. Like you want to take your time out to listen, right?
Right, no doubt about it.
There's too much going on in the world to to sit there and just listen to two nobodies. You feel me? Like, what the fuck these two people got to talk about? You know what I mean? What they got to talk about?
Right.
Well, listen, your boy is a 3-time award winner, journalist. You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations to that.
Thank you, college journalism. But it's gonna translate me right into I'm a little bit older. I'm a non-traditional student, right? So right now I'm actually back in school and doing a PR article on non-traditional students for my school, for Gulf Coast University. Shout out FGCU in the building, Duck City.
Okay, bet.
But the point of the story is, Facebook memories hit me. Yeah, y'all know Facebook memories, right? They be hitting you up with that, like the stuff that you wish you didn't. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, man, I see it all the time. And then I have a few things that come back up in my Facebook memory. I'm like, accurate.
Accurate as fuck. But you know what? And then you got the ones where you're like, man, how the hell did I do that? Why? How was I with this person? I can't believe I was there. And oh my god, what was I wearing? You know what I'm saying? You get some of those, right? And you just and then you start to see. For me, I start to see the difference in the progress or lack thereof, right? You can see that, and sometimes you're like, man, damn you, Facebook, right? Why you gotta give me this damn memory? Right now.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. Especially my takes on, my sports takes or my predictions on where people are going to land. I had a lot of those. So for them to come back.
You had something calling right, calling wrong?
Something like that. But I wasn't that far off.
Was that far off?
In terms of college football, the NBA finals, free agency moves in the NFL, things like that.
Hey, well, this is different than Facebook because this is on record.
Yes, sir.
And them people be like, what they say? I got receipts. We got you on air. So, hey, we about to have some fun. One thing I did notice is how much things change, right? And how, you could just, decades, right? So, 10 years ago, right? I'm not where I was 10 years ago. And hopefully, when you're listening, you're not where you were 10 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. I can hear the growth in terms of the way I view things, the way I see things, and so forth.
Absolutely. And then, the same thing with me. I took my butt back to school, and when you go back to school in your 30s, it gives you a whole new perspective because now you in class with people literally 10 years younger than you, a whole decade. So they have a whole different perspective because it's kind of like the rules in the league and in the games, right? And if you go to NBA or NFL, right? Mm-hmm. Every decade, it seems like the rules change. Go ahead.
I can agree with that. Not to mention the way you look at the game and the people you idolize or see and say, this is a great right here. This is a legend. They might have a totally different group of people For instance, you and I might look at Tom Brady and say, this man has been doing this for a couple decades, 3 different presidential terms. But they might look at it and be like, Pat Mahomes to go.
Yeah. Or Joe Montana, right? Depending on the decade, right? So that's a perfect way to transition into. So one thing I want to do with the new show is I want to have some fun, right? I've been talking about this. People know I've been talking about doing this segment, right, for a long time. Mm-hmm. So we about to have the first ever official sipping the juice. Won't you come sip some of this juice? Ooh, wait, run that back. Won't you come sip some of this juice? Some of this juice. And the idea of this game, the idea of this game is very, very simple. I'm about to hit you with a whole bunch of the topic is new faces and new places. NFL, well, actually football. I say football because I got a surprise for you. It's not all NFL. I got some, man. You know what I'm saying? A little college in there real quick, but new faces and new places. Right? That's the topic, right? The game is simple. You sip it, chug it, or you throw that shit away. Very simple. You ready? You want to play this game?
Cool.
All right, man. The first on deck. Von Miller, Buffalo Bills. Ooh. All right, so check this out. This is what we're going to do. Von Miller, Buffalo Bills. So Buffalo's been on the cups for a minute. Right? Yeah. They're like, all they got is Patrick Mahomes and damn Kansas City Chiefs. That seems like that's all that's in the way. So you go get Von Miller. Right? He just took the Rams over the hump. So it's very simple. Von Miller, will he take the Buffalo to the promised land? And in order to do that, will he average 12 sacks? So, will he take Buffalo to the promised land and have 12 sacks this season? Sip it, chug it, or throw that shit away?
I think I want to sip that.
You want to sip it?
Let me go ahead and sip it a little bit.
Yeah, tell me why.
I grew up in a household where we don't believe in just chugging and then throwing drinks away. You got to finish it up, eat that food, and finish up that drink. But let me go ahead and sip that. In my opinion, those days of Von Miller getting 12 sacks and plus 200 some tackles, they're gone. But he's a future Hall of Famer. He's a veteran presence in the locker room. But he will be there. Mainly, his role is to mentor the young guys that's coming up. You feel me? So I think he'll see around maybe 5. I'll give him 5, 6 sacks.
Ooh. So last year he had 9.5. Right? Okay. And the year before that, well, I say 2019 because he was hurt 2020, mm-hmm. Right? He had 8 sacks. So you're saying 5. You know what I mean? 5. You think that's enough to get them over the hump?
Well, I just think
sipping it, so you not.
But I believe this is my theory. I believe he's more so of a veteran locker room presence, and due to the fact he's won a couple Super Bowls, he's going to be that guy on defense in terms of for the younger guys to mentor and say, look, I've won 2 Super Bowls, one with Denver in 2015, 2016 season, recently just last year, but he didn't play the full season with the Rams to top it off. Let's just point that out. But just preparing them to play in big games and putting them, just taking them under his wing and kind of showing them the right way to play the game and how to overcome situations when things are getting tough. That will be his role. But production wise, I don't see him really lighting up the stat sheet. But he will have a locker room presence, and his presence will be felt on the field where he can open up for other guys at his position.
So you buying Buffalo as a Super Bowl? Like they're going to Super Bowl contenders? Obviously.
No,
not Super Bowl contenders?
Not Super Bowl contenders.
You got to speak on that.
Well, the reason why I say that, I'm going to make a point. The Miami Dolphins ever got stronger? The New England Patriots are going to forever be there because you got one of them, not the greatest coach ever in NFL history. I believe that's debatable because you got Bill Walsh out there, and then but that's another topic for another day.
Josh Allen's undefeated versus the Dolphins, though.
Yeah, but the thing about it is he's splitting every single year with New England. And I factor in the Jets are not going to be, that's going to be a pile-up stat sheet game, but they're getting a little tougher. They're moving, they're trending in the right direction.
Okay.
And I'm looking at it from another point of view. Not too many teams, with the exception of the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots, that have showed consistency of getting back to the AFC Championship game. It's always a newcomer coming up. For instance, the Cincinnati Bengals emerged out of nowhere. So
Right.
it might be a team that emerged out of nowhere.
And when they say it's like what, six, 7 teams every year
Yes.
that swap out for playoffs.
Not in my 31 years of life and watching football for 20 years now, being able to comprehend it, I never thought Cincinnati Bengals would pop up and go to the Super Bowl before the Buffalo Bills or a team like that.
Right. So you talked about it earlier, kind of alluded to it earlier. The next one is we're going to go with the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, right? Tyreek Hill, will he have for 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns with his first year with Tua? Sip it, chug it, throw that shit away.
Let me go ahead and sip that.
You gonna sip that?
Let me go ahead and sip that. I like him to have, I'll give him 865 yards.
Ooh.
7 touchdowns. I'm going to be honest with you. That report that Tua has with Jalen Waddle, it is beautiful. And Jalen Waddle's receiving skill set fits Tua's skill set. Might I add, they played at Bama together. So, if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy.
But they played.
Okay.
But as a Bama fan, yes, they played together. They played, but isn't Tyreek and Jalen's skill set pretty similar though?
No. Tyreek Hill is a deep threat. He's a guy that takes the tops off of defense.
But he does them screens the same way though. Okay, here's something for you. All right. Did you know that Patrick Mahomes' passing average was only 8.1 yards per attempt? That's in his career. Tua's 6.6 without a line, without a wide receiver. So when people think like he's throwing it deep all the time, because I think what people do not see is when Tyreek Hill said that their accuracy, right, and so forth. I don't think people really think that Patrick Mahomes is a gunslinger because he can throw the ball deep.
Oh, Pat Mahomes is definitely a gunslinger.
Right.
Oh man.
But if his average passing temp is only 8 yards,
well,
is Tyreek Hill really going deep? He ain't going.
Well, he's definitely going deep.
Yeah, but that's not his only route.
Well, the thing about it is, I don't look at Tyreek Hill as a route runner. I don't put him in the same class as a Devontae Adams or Amari Cooper, Antonio Brown. Okay. I see him more as a guy that can hurt you going deep, and if he has huge he has a huge physique. His lower body strength is excellent, and he can break a lot of tackles. But far as in terms of when you have a young quarterback. A quarterback that's not known or don't have the ability to throw the ball 70 yards every single play, and you have to rely on your skill set being technically sound running routes, that's a totally different ball game. See, with Andy Reid and the Andy Reid offense, even going back to the Philadelphia Eagle days, Andy Reid has always threw the football downfield. This is what he does. He did it with Deshaun Jackson. He did it with Jeremy Maclin. He did it with Terrell Owens when he was there. He did it with Jason Avant. So this ain't nothing new under the sun. This is what they like to do. And the reason why they like to do that, because Andy Reid has a theory, pass opens up runs. But when you got a guy like Tua who's young and he did suffer an injury, they like to fit the offense around his skill set with the run-pass option, running the football, and then he'll take a few shots downfield, but I don't, far as the Dolphins, they don't allow him to throw the ball 55 times a game.
This is kind of where I'm going to push back, and I'm really excited to see Miami. Miami's one of the teams I cannot wait to see because they have a new coach, right? When you have all the reports came out about Flores, and you have a coach that doesn't like you, right? It's a defensive mind coach already. And you're going to be very conservative with your play calling. So I watch Tua play. So when people say he can't throw the deep ball or he doesn't throw the deep ball, yes, Bama, you got everything perfect. You have a line. You got some receivers. But Patrick Mahomes had that. He has a line, and he had receivers. Justin Herbert has that. He has a line. He has receivers. To me, it's unfair for people to do that when he don't have the same thing that they have. I mean, the man went and drafted Austin Jackson after watching Austin Jackson get murdered. Right? Got murdered in the Rose Bowl, and they still drafted him ahead of Miami had no O-line.
I can understand that.
And now they finally got some receivers. So and they have deep threats in our boy, right? said he will, Wilson, so.
But they're going to use him more of as like a gadget guy, a Swiss Army knife guy type guy. Put him in a wildcat, jet sweeps, double passes. Cedric Wilson.
Yeah.
I just look at it like.
Too? See, I think with McDaniels, like it's going to be all over the place because you also got Mozart back there. You also got we ain't talking. That's not one of the face we bring up, but you got him, his new face. You got Chase Edmonds. So you got like speed everywhere. And remember, he put Debo in the backfield. Him and Debo had a conversation. He told Debo, "Your name about that. You're going to get me a head coaching job." And it's crazy how that worked out.
But here's how I push back. We don't know which Tyreek Hill is going to show up because you and I both know when you enter into a new team, a new organization, a new franchise, a new system, a new quarterback, how motivated are you? Because we seen this in the past previously when the Miami Dolphins acquire other players and they come to Miami and they don't pan out because of the city, the atmosphere. Oh, listen, we saw this with Mike Wallace back in 2012, 2013. He got the 6-year deal for the $60 million after he put up those numbers. And once he got that money, it was more so of, I got my money. And as long as I do half of what I did before with my old team, then that'll be good enough. So that's pretty much the issue with players checking out. Even the Ndamukong Suh, when he went to Miami, he was not the same all-pro player he was before because it was just all about partying. It was all about living off the old reputation. So we don't know if Tyreek Hill is going to come in and say, you know what, I got to come in here and prove myself all over again. Or is he going to live off, those Kansas City days?
Yeah, for old glory days, right?
Yes.
All right, so one more topic with the Dolphins.
No problem.
Melvin Ingram. Will he get 8 sacks and help Miami get to the playoffs? He hasn't had 8+ sacks since 2016.
When it comes to that right there, I'll sit that.
Sip that?
I'll sip
everything.
I'm sipping everything. I'm trying it all.
Yeah, I feel you. So you think they make the playoffs? What part are you sipping? The playoffs or are you sipping the 8 sacks?
I'm sipping the 8 sacks.
Sipping 8 sacks? Miami not make a playoff?
Well, Juice, like I said before, the Buffalo Bills, they just back-to-back deep playoff runs. Then you got the New England Patriots. We can never rule them out. Never rule out Belichick. That running game is phenomenal. That defense is phenomenal. And Mac Jones is he's a great game manager. So we can't rule them out. So I'm picking Buffalo to go to the playoffs in that division, and I'm picking the New England Patriots. And maybe Miami can squeeze in as a wild card as long as their squad stays healthy.
Okay. All right, so let's go on to the previously mentioned Cincinnati Bengals as they got our former player, La'el Collins. And I picked him as the new face and new place because of Joe Burrow. And the reason he gets sacked so damn much, right? So the question is, will La'el Collins be a Pro Bowler this year?
Yes.
So sip it, chug it. Let
me go ahead and chug it.
Chug. Go ahead, chug it.
Yes, he will make the Pro Bowl. When he was playing for the Cowboys, he was graded by Pro Football Focus one of the highest grades at his position. It's just all about him keeping his head on the swivel, staying out of trouble, and just focusing on football. So that'll be my take on La'el Collins right there.
And you being around a bunch of LSU boys, it might help you.
Yes, especially when you're familiar with a culture.
Now here's one that let's keep it moving. Let's go the next one. We've been talking about this off air many times. It's all over the news. And y'all know what it is. It's Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. This is two-parter because Deshaun Watson and you got both our favorite players, Amari Cooper.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
So the question is, will Deshaun Watson play 8 games this season? The league's saying that they're looking at a 1-year, possibly indefinite, right? But they said that, I was listening to some reports that are saying that when they go through the arbitrary, since the arbitrary is a woman who used to be a judge, she might look at the evidence and see how there's lack thereof, as criminal charges that there is,
yes,
and make it 10 games. And therefore, you know how this works. If it's 10 games, if it's a 10-game suspension, you know the appeal process starts, the NFLPA gets involved. So the question is, will Watson play 8 games this season? Sip it, chug it, throw it away.
I'll sip it.
Sip it.
I believe Deshaun Watson will play 7 to 8 games this year. He already served a full year sit out last year. Might I add, I'm looking at the fact he's never been arrested or charged of any of these things, and people have to know, for the viewers and the audience that's listening, a civil suit versus you being arrested and indicted on charges is two completely different things. That just means somebody is coming after you financially for financial compensation. So I look at it like he didn't play last year, and I know for a fact misrepresenting the National Football League, even though we have had worse, but way worse
coaches too.
But I look at it like he can appeal it and they'll make him sit out half, and I think they'll be fine if he's able to play 8 games, because they are a run first football team. They have one of the best running backs in the league in Nick Chubb. They have one of the best offensive lines, and they have a nice, scrappy defense. And I'm going to be honest with you, I like me some Myles Garrett, and I like that young cornerback, Denzel Ward, from Ohio State. He's a bad boy.
I like it. I can feel that. And, I wish we went on air before, because now they're saying that the Texans are being sued and so forth. But me and you were talking about this way back when.
Absolutely.
It was never in the news. And there's no way that all this happened without the Texans knowing about it. And then it's kind of strange that it blew up after he said he wants out. Now they're saying it's because when the pandemic hit, he was on Instagram looking for maybe. We're not going to go into that wormhole. But, man, I wish we talked about that before that shit blew up. I wish, because we knew when we talked about this before.
Absolutely.
Man, I can't get credit for it. Damn it. Sorry. Moving on to Coop. Amari Cooper, my guy. Okay.
You know Coop is my guy.
Amari Coop, man. Coop. I miss you, Coop. Listen. Cooper, does he return to the Pro Bowl with 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns? Before you speak, Amari had 8 seasons. And 8 seasons, 5 was over 1,000. With 3 being 1,100, only 2 with 8 touchdowns, and 7 5 more times. This is counting with him being hurt 2017. So, and you already said that they're going to make the playoffs, because I said we help Browns make the playoffs. All right, so sit bit, chug it, throw it away. Amari Cooper returns to the Pro Bowl with 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns.
I'm chugging it.
Chugging.
And I'm going to add more icing on the cake.
Chug.
Amari will have around 1,300 to 1,400 yards and double-digit touchdowns this year.
Ooh.
And might I add, people have to look at it like this, and I look at it from a different point of view. Amari Cooper has played with Derek Carr. He's played with Dak Prescott. He's played with Andy Dalton. He's played with Garrett Gilbert, or whatever his name was.
He got a stack that year, too.
And he still went over 1,000 yards. He went over 1,100 yards, even though Dak Prescott got hurt week 5. So 12 games he played without Dak Prescott, and he was able to accumulate over 1,000 yards. So that's just proving this is a wide receiver. It doesn't matter who's throwing him the football, he is making plays. That's my example of a superstar wide receiver. You can play with any quarterback in any situation. It doesn't matter who's dropping back throwing you the football. You're still able to make plays. Also, I want to throw in, there's only a list of guys in their 7-year, 8-year career that were able to get 500 receptions and over 8,000 yards. That's Randy Moss. That's Mike Evans. That's Antonio Brown. That's DeAndre Hopkins. And that is Amari Cooper. That list is very, very short.
Ooh,
I'm just putting that out there. And
y'all better listen.
And also, I look at Dak Prescott and Derek Carr. I don't look at them in the same light. I don't look at them as top 5 elite quarterbacks. I'll give Derek Carr the edge.
Ooh.
Because he plays in a tougher division.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm glad you said that.
Because the NFC East, let's just keep it a buck. It's not.
I just think after watching Derek Carr last season, is seeing a different animal, because they weren't supposed to be there. At all.
Bingo.
There's nothing about
Bingo.
That
they had a lot going
that
against them with losing their coach, all that bullshit with John Gruden.
They're starting their number 1 receiver.
Absolutely, sure.
But in the way that it went down, it wasn't like you just lost them, but the way that you lost them.
Yes.
And then still be able to take your team to the playoffs.
Yes.
In that division. that murderous division that we're going to talk about very, very shortly. You know.
Oh yeah.
Let's keep it moving then. Pittsburgh Steelers, Mitchell Trubisky. All right. Loses his starting job to Kenny Pickett and missed the first time ever that Mike Tomlin has a losing record. Sip it, chug it, throw it away. I'm going to give you some help. They play the NFC South this year and the AFC East. With the sprinkle in, obviously the Bills, Tampa, Dolphins, Colts, and Eagles.
Juice, I'm throwing that away.
Throwing it.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Hey, throw that. Why you throw that away so it ain't happening?
Ain't nobody trying to talk about no Steelers, man. Mike Tomlin, kudos to him. I know he's the youngest head coach in NFL history to win a Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to be honest with you. He played a factor in destroying that squad they had. That squad they had with Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Martavius Bryant, with Big Ben. I wish he could have made it work because that team should have got them a Super Bowl. But that was the closest roster they had to even move forward. But they're going to have some rough days over there playing against the Cincinnati Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens when Lamar Jackson is healthy, the Cleveland Browns. They're going to finish last in that division.
Ooh. Last. So, the Mitchell Trubisky, does he lose his starting job?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, you know he is 29 and 21 as a starter.
That's nice.
He said, I don't really care, man. I don't really care. All right, let's keep it moving. Indianapolis Colts. I said Indiana Colts.
It happened. I know what you were saying.
All right. Matt Ryan, Yannick Ngakoue. Hope I said that right. When they make the playoffs and win a game. Sip it, chug it, throw it away.
Sip it.
Sip.
I'll say they will make the playoffs, but far as winning, I don't know about that. But I believe they'll sneak in the playoffs in that division right there. Matt Ryan still has a lot of football left. Unfortunately, he was put in a bad position. They traded away Julio Jones. You know, all the little pieces he had over the years that actually get him to take him on a deep playoff run and get into a Super Bowl. They got rid of that team. So I believe with that running game and Jonathan Taylor, because that young boy right there can run the football. All they have to do is ride that, and they'll be fine. And
they make sure they got the line. They got a line to make sure they complement the running game.
No doubt about it. I don't know how Carson Wentz crashed that, but yeah.
It's because it's Carson Wentz. But all right, man. Here's one. Jacksonville Jaguars. They got a new addition, Christian Kirk, who got paid like a number one. So because he's number one is required to have 1,000 yards. So will Kirk get 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns? He's never had 1,000 yards. He was close last season with 982 and 5 touchdowns. Sip it, chug it, throw it away.
I'm throwing that away too.
He said,
ain't nobody trying to talk about no damn boring ass Kirk. Whatever his name is. I had to Google his name.
Christian Kirk?
I had to Google his name
a
few times when I saw
him. Arizona? Yeah,
well, you got to look at it like this. All I'll say about that situation in Arizona, DeAndre Hopkins is the real Batman over there. So teams prefer to not let DeAndre Hopkins get 200 yards receiving on them to let him have his way. So I'll just leave it at that.
We'll go to that in a minute. We ain't going to skip ahead. We're going to stay on topic. We're going to talk about them because they got Hollywood Brown. But not yet. He's laughing at that one. All right, here you go. Tennessee Titans, they got Austin Hooper, right? I forgot to say his name after he choked away in Brown, so this purposely. Austin Hooper, and they got Robert Woods. All right, so will they return to the playoffs? Tennessee Titans. Sip it, chug it, throw it away.
Yes, they will. Long as Derrick Henry, the best running back in football, stays healthy. And far as Austin Hooper, in all fairness to Austin Hooper, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, unfortunately, he was playing with Baker.
Facts.
Baker.
Because Hooper's nice.
Baker, a.k.a. Ryan Leaf's little cousin, because that's exactly what he is. He's leaning towards being a bust. And Hooper was a Pro Bowler prior to all of this.
With Atlanta.
Yes.
With Matt Ryan. And that's when he left. That's how anyone didn't got Kyle Pitts.
Right.
So, all right. Let's move it on to a quarterback that we both have a certain love for. Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos. And they went and got our guy, Randy Gregory. He just stole from us. Like just stole.
Well, technically, they ain't stealing from him.
Yeah, you're right. He ran away.
He didn't like what he saw in his contract. The little small language in the contract Jerry put, so he went the other way.
Absolutely, and I don't blame him. Jerry was trying to do that slick shit. He was, and Jerry trying, man. Okay, so will they make the playoffs? Denver hasn't been in the playoffs in a long time. Will they make the playoffs this year with Russell Wilson's first year, with a first-year head coach, first-year everything over there?
I'll sip that, and
They played the AFC South and the NFC West.
I like them to sneak in at 9-8 wild card.
9-8. Ooh,
yes. Sneaking in.
Okay.
Yeah. One game make the difference.
Because they got sprinkled in. They play the Rams. Obviously, it's part of the South, or they're in the West, but they don't really play anybody. Just the Rams, Colts, 49ers.
Well, their division is tough along with the Raiders, with the Chargers, and with the Chiefs.
All right. Speaking of Chiefs, Justin Reed, Juju Smith-Schuster. Will they win the division?
They will win the division easily.
So we're sipping that, chugging that.
Let me go ahead and chug that. They will win the division easily.
Easily?
Andy Reid is the best coach in that division.
Well, wait, what about the Raiders? Raiders just went and added Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones ain't Andy Reid.
Yeah, but they get, when he touched Mahomes, is a little different. You got Crosby, and you got Jones, and they kind of fixed that secondary, and you put Adams over there, and you still got Waller, and you still got Renfro.
All that just to get.
They still got Brandon Edwards too, right?
Well, all that to get took up top by Kansas City Chiefs.
Too?
I still like the Kansas City Chiefs to win that division. Andy Reid's offensive play calling is genius will overshadow all of that. And it doesn't matter they lost Tyreek Hill. They'll be better off with Tyreek Hill because they can replace. This is what Andy Reid has been doing for years. Before Tyreek Hill, we saw Deshaun Jackson do the same thing. Streak downfield, run punt returns back. Was used in certain special team situations, handoffs, jet sweeps. This is what Andy Reid does. So I have confidence that they will win that division probably around 11, 12 games.
Ooh. I was going to do something, but you know what? It's the Chiefs, so I don't want to look like a clown. So I'm going to let that slide. Because I don't know. They could be, or they could either win a division or sneak in the playoffs. It's like, they're not going to fall off the wagon.
They are winning that division.
Because I like the Raiders. I really do. And that was my next one. Will the Raiders win the division? Sip it, chug it, throw it away. When they make the playoffs, since you obviously got Kansas City winning the division, when they make the playoffs, again, they just added Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones.
Well, this is another...
And they actually have a weaker schedule because, they play... The Chiefs, they play the Bills, Tampa, Rams, Cincy. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. And their division. Mm-hmm. And you still got them 11-12 wins.
Yes, I do.
Raiders, they play New England, Saints, and, of course, the Rams and the Steelers.
Okay. I still got the Kansas City Chiefs winning that division.
You know what you should do? Take that take, wrap it up real nice and pretty, and throw that shit away.
Exactly what you should do with that shit. Real nice. Listen.
Pat Mahomes makes the difference. He's the far. Listen, man. This dude is a killer out there on the field throwing that football. There's only been a handful of JuiCe. There's only been a handful of quarterbacks. When I see them drop back to throw the ball, my heart pounds real fast.
But he lost Tyreek Hill.
It doesn't matter.
Who replaces that?
That offense.
Seen them without Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Was it Pringle? Or was it Hardman?
Actually, we seen them without Tyreek Hill, and they still won games in 2019. Tyreek Hill missed 5 games, and Sammy Watkins missed 7, and they were still able to be productive with Hardman, whatever they had, and they end up going to the Super Bowl. So yeah, we can look up those how many games Tyreek Hill missed, and the offense didn't miss a beat.
Okay. Hey, we got receipts now. So all right, let's keep it moving. So the Chargers, they added Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson. They make the playoffs.
Yes, they will. They'll finish right behind. I believe there's going to be 3 teams in that division.
So sip it.
Let me sip it. And I believe there's going to be 3 teams in that division to make the playoffs. And I don't like the Raiders to make it.
Oh.
I like the Broncos to sneak in at 9-8. I like the Kansas City Chiefs to go 12-5, and I like the San Diego Chargers to win 10 games, like 10-7.
Damn. Okay then. Here's our team. I should play like some type of what is that, like the Undertaker, like his type of music, that sad music, right?
You should play New Edition. Can You Stand the Rain?
Facts. Okay, man, we got a new edition. I know you're excited about it. You told me about this off air, how excited you are. James Washington.
Boy, if you don't get your...
Will James Washington replace Amari Cooper's production? Sip it, chug it, throw away. Now, before you answer, last year Amari Cooper only had 865 yards, but 8 touchdowns.
Well, the thing about it is, and let me go ahead and chug that.
So he will.
Let me go ahead and chug that take. No, he's not going to replace James Washington. Is not going to replace Amari Cooper. And for the record, Amari Cooper missed 2 games, and that's the reason why he didn't go over 1,000 yards, because he missed 2 games. It's just that simple. He missed 2 games. He missed the Thanksgiving game against the Raiders, and he missed the Kansas City Chiefs game, which we had CeeDee Lamb by himself, the number 1 guy, and he couldn't get open. And he ended up with a concussion ultimately. But yeah, the James Washington signing, listen, Jerry, you need to be a little bit more deep in your pockets than that. You need to come out the pockets a little bit more. Like, if you want to make a splash, there are 2 wide receiver, veteran, all-pro, future Hall of Fame receivers out there right now you can sign for a 1-year deal.
Speak on it.
1 is Julio Jones.
Ooh.
And 2,
Bama boy.
one of my top 5 favorite receivers of all time, Antonio Brown. And I don't, as far as the fans and the audience, and if there's any Cowboy fans saying, oh, we don't need that trouble, listen here. Gerald Wayne Jones lives for those type of picks. In 2006, we signed Terrell Owens. He had an issue with every locker room he's been in. In 2015, we signed Greg Harding. In 2008, we signed Pac-Man Jones. So basically what I'm saying is, Jerry Jones doesn't like the choir boys. He likes players that's going to add controversy, that's going to sell tickets. And if Antonio Brown is healthy, he's an upgrade over Michael Gallup, James Washington, and Jalen Tolbert. I seen what Antonio Brown did last year at age 33. I'm talking about this man was catching 5-yard screens and going 62 yards with Tom Brady. So Antonio Brown is technically sound, and I do know Amari Cooper, Chad Ochocinco, and Antonio Brown, they're all from Miami, Florida, Liberty City, so they all train together, and their footwork is similar as far as route running. So Antonio Brown will come in and be similar. If not, I can see Antonio Brown getting over 1,000 yards in that situation with CeeDee Lamb on the other side.
Let me ask you this. If right now are Cowboys a playoff team?
Yes, and the reason...
Without AP, they're a playoff team.
Yes, they are, but... My thing is due to the fact the NFC East is so terrible, and Dak Prescott is hands down the best quarterback in that division. Now, however, if Carson Wentz can stay the course, I see that being the only team, the Washington Commanders, being the only team to threaten us in the NFC East.
I don't think we're gonna win the division. I think we're not making playoffs right now. I'm gonna receipt this. All right, I think we like a 7, maybe 9 win team this year, and we miss the playoffs. I actually think the Eagles and the Commanders are better than us. That's what I think.
Well, Juice, I'm going to be honest with you with the Eagles situation. Jalen Hurts
has gotten better every year.
Listen, they was the number 1 rushing team. But as far as his arm ability, I don't trust it. And I look at it like Jalen Hurts has always played with talented rosters and have underachieved. He got benched in
You trust Ryan Tannehill's arm talent?
No. Ryan Tannehill.
A.J. Brown productive with him.
Well, A.J. Brown, he has something called yak ability.
I'll tell you this too, right? And that's fine. They know this. Same thing with Devontae Smith. I hear you, right? To me though, when you have somebody like Jalen Hurts who is better than Tannehill,
Well, I feel like they're more of the same. They're quarterbacks.
But he can do things better.
Well, he can run better, but they're quarterbacks like this.
Makes him more of a threat, makes him better because you don't got to worry about Tannehill necessarily running. Now, Tannehill can, scramble out, get the little scramble, little touchdown every now and then. You got to worry about the little. But Hurts is like a viable threat. And if we can sit there and listen to us Cowboys fans talking about this guy, right? Not you, but me. This is my band we're talking, so you know what I'm saying? Forgive me, Lord, for I have sinned, right? But listen, what I'm saying is, listen, man. the man's gotten better every year. And when you have somebody like A.J. Brown, where you don't really have to be perfect with the ball, we've seen this man, and then you have, we see what Devontae Smith did. I'm just saying there's a lot more room.
Juice, did you not see Jalen Hurts in the playoffs?
Embiid wasn't going to win that
With
game
that terrible,
anyway.
with that listen, that Tampa
got
Tampa
smashed.
secondary was terrible. That Tampa Bay secondary was averaging giving up damn near 400 damn passing yards a game, and he couldn't exploit that. Careless turnovers in the first half, and then he didn't target his number one receiver until at the end of the game when they was losing by damn near 20 points. So I look at it like he's an average passer, and unfortunately in this league, if you're an average passer and you have to rely on the running game, like Ryan Tannehill, Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, I feel like they're all in the same class. If the running game is productive, then they're able to pass the football off play action fake. But if you take away the running game and you're forcing them to beat the team with their arm, they're not going to do it. Jalen Hurts played with 5 first-round receivers, and he still didn't get it done. He got benched in the national championship. Then hit the transport. Yeah, FYI for the record, you can't consider him a Bama guy because he finished at Oklahoma.
Hey, first off, no, I can't because you know why? Because Tua got hurt, and what happened? Hurts came back in and won us that game to get us into the national title to lose again. Because Tua went back in. No, can't do that. Tua went in and saved Hurts, and then Hurts came back and saved him. So he's Bama's boy.
He had to go to Oklahoma
for 1 year
with Lincoln Riley in a pass-happy offense because they don't run the football for nothing over there.
Yeah.
And he was able to pile up those stats. But I look at his ability far as at the quarterback position. You got to be able to read defenses, and you can't get caught up in traps. And I noticed even when the Cowboys faced Jalen Hurts, he turned the ball over recklessly his last 4 games against the Dallas Cowboys. And I feel like that's the difference because we do have Michael Parsons, and I feel like we do have the better defense in that division. So that's why I'm giving us a flying chance. And when Ezekiel Elliott's healthy, I like him to get 1,200 yards. So that's why I'm riding on Dak Prescott being the best quarterback in that division. I'm praying on that Carson Wentz will come in and do what he did with the Colts.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still hurt over the Amari Cooper loss.
Are you?
So, like I'm very, very disappointed in the Cowboys. So I'm down on them because the way I see it is like as long as I'm not too high on them, I won't get my heart broken. But it seems like no matter what, I still get my heart broken.
See, you and I, we get along just fine because we're realistic Cowboy fans. But I'm looking at like maybe CeeDee Lamb might take that leap in his 3rd year. See? And I'm looking at the fact that if we run first,
but Jalen Hurts can't take that leap in that 3rd year.
Well, it all depends. But in a run pass option offense, what leap are you taking?
No, I'm just playing, man. I think CeeDee Lamb has a better opportunity to take that leap because he has no choice. And also for me, like Hurts, regardless, will have a backup role, right? And yeah. Anyway, it's enough of the damn Eagles.
Well, Juice,
the Sheagles.
The Sheagles was the number 1 rushing team in the National Football League. Why would they change that? Why would they change that? Because A.J. Brown is there. They're still going to run the football because that protects Jalen Hurts' flaws. That's what I'm saying.
But A.J. Brown's good at what? Where's he come from?
Well, he's coming from a run play action. But like I said before, we have to see it to believe it.
You have to
we can't go off just paper. That's hypotheticals.
All right, let's keep moving. Stay in the same division though, NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrod Taylor, new addition to the New York Giants. We take Daniel Jones' job by week 6. Sip it, chuck it, throw it away. And I'm gonna give you the schedule to help you out. Giants open with the Titans, Panthers, Cowboys, Bears, Packers, Ravens. First 6 games.
Juice, I want to throw that away. Just throw it away. I don't want to talk about no G-Man. No damn G-Man.
My bad. I have a couple of Giants fans that probably listen to my show, and I just want to tell you that Tyrod Taylor will take the job. Just so y'all know, I'm gonna say it.
And dear G-Man fans, you guys are not you, but the organization is holding Saquon Barkley back, and if I'm a team out there that needs a running back like him that's young, if I'm Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., I'll be talking to the Tampa Bay organization to go out there to trade for Saquon Barkley because I believe he can help Tampa get over the hump and get back to where they need to go. G-Man, Giants fans, you guys don't deserve Saquon Barkley. That's all I got to say.
Giants fans don't deserve much, though. keep it 100. Hey, all right, let's keep it moving. Atlanta Falcons got a new addition, Marcus Mariota. He's like, what are we going to talk about it for? Well, they finished ahead of the Panthers in the division.
Let me go ahead and throw that take away. Stop it. I don't want to talk about the gadget Oregon bust.
All right, how about this one? The New Orleans Saints and Jarvis Landry.
Yes, sir. Let me go ahead and chug that.
So will he get 800 yards, 5 touchdowns? That's what them adding Chris Olave. Chris Olave.
Let me go ahead and chug that. Yes, he will.
Ooh.
Jameis Winston, and I'm gonna go even a step further. The New Orleans Saints will win the NFC South division.
Ooh.
They have the better defense.
Wait, say it louder.
Don't be a chicken.
Say it louder. Commit to it.
Let me say it for the folks in the back. The New Orleans Saints will win the NFC South over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. They already swept Tampa without Jameis Winston even being in the lineup. They got the best defense in that division. They got Cameron Jordan. They just signed Honey Badger. They got Marshawn Lattimore, who's one of the top five best corners in the National Football League, and he's always putting Mike Evans on skates. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster has regressed. No Antonio Brown. Rob Gronkowski just retired. All they got is Mike Evans and a Chris Godwin that's just coming off an ACL injury. Don't like it. I like what Nola has done. And I know for a fact, up until Jameis Winston tore his ACL, he had like 16 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He was on pace for 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So long as Jameis is able to stay healthy, and when Alvin Kamara comes back from his suspension, because he's gonna face a suspension, he got arrested in Vegas and all that stuff. But I think I believe, yes. Which wasn't smart. I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe it was the
like you ain't noticeable, bro. Like you ain't noticeable.
Maybe
man.
it was the cook.
But I'm talking about we got the nose ring. They got everything about Kamara.
Boy, how you fighting after your Pro Bowl game?
You know what I'm saying? Right after the Pro Bowl.
They need to switch the Pro Bowl from Vegas. Nothing good has happened to Vegas to the NFL players. Let's just put that out there. NFL.
And plus, they love going to Hawaii. That was like the first time they got to go to Hawaii. A lot of people, first time they get to go to Hawaii.
Bingo. And I believe Michael Thomas will be fully healthy. So you have you got Michael Thomas, a first-team All-Pro receiver. You have Jarvis Landry, a 4-time Pro Bowl receiver. You got Olave. You have Alvin Kamara when he's fully healthy. I think they just got Mark Ingram back. If I'm not mistaken, he's back over there. I believe they will be fine, and they'll take that division. They'll win 11 games and get that division.
Okay. Let's stay in that division. Tampa Bay Bucks, they got a new addition, Russell Gage. Will he replace AB's production? AB only had about 500 yards in both seasons with Tampa.
Well, that's because, in all fairness to AB served a suspension from the National Football League, and last year he suffered an ankle injury. But when he was in the lineup, hands down, he was the most targeted from Tom Brady. And as far as yards after the catch.
Oh, we know. Tom Brady loves him a slot receiver.
Oh, no doubt about
Russell
it.
Russell Gage is very capable.
But let me just put it out there. AB ain't no slot. I consider AB a once-in-a-lifetime receiver. He can play the slot. He can play the outside. It doesn't matter. It's just when he's fully healthy and when he's fully focused, he can do it all. But I don't see Russell Gage replacing no AB production. Like, just stop it.
His production wasn't that much, though.
Well, that's because, like I said, he suffered an injury.
So, okay. So he played, they're saying he played about, maybe let's say half the season, about 500 yards. So he had about 4-5 touchdowns both seasons. So we'll say 1,000 yards. AB was on pace to have 1,000 yards, about 8 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Russell Gage doesn't get that?
No. He's gonna be maybe Brady might target him maybe 2-3 times a game.
Nah, man, see what he did with Edelman?
No.
He was doing more of that with the other kid they have over there with the Tyler Johnson. He was showing him more. Come on, man. They ain't paying him to come over there and get 3 targets. Man, you know what? You get another one in.
You know what you should do? Take that take, wrap it up real nice and pretty, and throw that shit away.
Throw that shit away, man. Again. You get another one of those. All right. Let's keep moving. Rams, new addition, Allen Robinson. Will he replace Robert Woods and OBJ's production and take them back to the Super Bowl? I just threw that one in there.
Let me go ahead and sip this. No.
No Super Bowl, but we'll replace the production.
No.
A-Rob, nice.
No.
You don't like A-Rob?
A-Rob can't stay healthy. He hasn't had 1,000 yards in almost 3 years.
But look at
And might I? Okay, but here's the thing: we just talked about Amari. We talked about guys like D-Hop. We talked about guys like AB. If you are a dog, it doesn't matter who's dropping back throwing you the football. You're gonna get yours. We just talked about how Dak missed 12 games with a torn Achilles, and Amari was still able to go out there to get 1,100 yards.
So this question should be: how many games will A-Rod play? Will he play 12 games? Sip it, chug it, throw it away.
I like him to play. I'll sip that. I like him to play like 10. It's always a nagging injury, an ankle, a hamstring. It seemed like his body is starting to betray him.
So
if you go look at his numbers,
at what, 800 yards?
Yeah, and that's decent because Cooper Kupp is still going to get his like 180 to 200 targets.
Absolutely. Oh man. All right. Talk about injuries and not seeing the field. Sammy Watkins, new addition to Green Bay Packers.
Well, let me just say shout out to Sammy Watkins. I just let me go ahead and sip this. I just recently coached and a good friend of mine who I grew up with. His name is Trey Boston. He plays for the Carolina Panthers. He's in Fort Myers, Florida. But Jalen Watkins and Sammy Watkins, the Watkins brothers, actually helped me coach in this camp with Trey Boston, which was on his birthday. Happy belated birthday to Trey Boston. Just recently on June the 25th, which was a few days ago, and I talked to Sammy Watkins.
I want y'all to peep this before he finishes. This is how 239 loyal. He even hear the question. He already said he's sipping it. Yeah, I ain't telling the question. He said I'm sipping it. I said Sammy Watkins. Will he? He said sipping it.
And here's the thing with Sammy Watkins, and I'm one of those guys. Even if a player is from my hometown, from my area, I'm still a realistic student of the game. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be straightforward. I believe Sammy Watkins will see 1,000 yards if he play over 10 games with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that wasn't even a question.
Well, I'm just putting that in there.
The question is, will Sammy Watkins play 14 games? The man's missed 8 games.
I like him to play 11 games this year.
11 games this year?
Yeah, I like him to play 11 games.
Over 1,000?
And if he plays over 11, which I believe he will, he would get over 1,000 yards because that's just the way A-Rod rolls. It doesn't matter who's playing with A-Rod. Devontae Adams is not the first team All-Pro receiver he's produced.
You gotta trust him. If you develop trust with A-Rod, he's gonna give you the ball.
Bingo. A-Rod has had success with Greg Jennings, James Jones, Donald Driver, Jermichael Finley. He's had success with Jordy Nelson. He's had success with other receivers outside Randall Cobb, outside of Devontae Adams. When A-Rod calls your number and he tells you, hey, I'm going to get you the football, that's just what it is. So just based off the number of targets that Sammy Watkins will receive over there with the Green Bay Packers, I like him to get over 1,000 yards.
Okay. All right. We talked about this a little bit in the beginning. Mm-hmm. It's Marquise Hollywood Brown with the Arizona Cardinals. I think he's a nice compliment to DeAndre Hopkins.
Bingo.
I think he's better than Christian Kirk, the guy you didn't know his name. I think he's better than him as far as that compliment. Right? I'm saying that because we see him do a lot. He had production with Lamar. Lamar and Kyler Murray, passing-wise, are not the same. Kyler Murray is a better arm. So, the question isn't how many yards or anything like that, because the problem with Arizona is they made the playoffs last year. You got to win a game now. Will they win a game? Sip it, chug it, throw that shit away. Will they make the playoffs and win a game?
I'll sip that. I'll sip that. I'll sip that. I don't see them winning a playoff game, but I do see them making the playoffs. Okay. I see them making the playoffs right behind the Rams. And FYI, to the Cardinal fans, I just wanna sympathize with you guys because you got your ass whooped in the playoffs on MLK Day, which was worse. Like, and it have to be Arizona, and the correlation and the reason why I'm bringing up the Arizona area because for a long time when Martin Luther King's holiday got approved, they didn't recognize it as a holiday, and then you end up getting your ass whooped on that day. But yeah, we'll throw that out there. You know,
culture fact.
But yeah. I'm going to give them a chance to make the playoffs with Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins and Hollywood Brown. But Hollywood Brown, my issue with him, he just got to get his hands more consistent because I seen a lot of passes last year, touchdown passes.
Oh, yeah.
He's dropping.
Oh yeah. Lamar has better arm than people think.
Bingo.
Yeah. So, and I agree. There's some, especially that one game. He had like 3 of them.
And when you have the best receiver in the National Football League on your team, when he's healthy, DeAndre Hopkins, yes, I can't write them off because I believe DeAndre Hopkins and his resume proves that he's the best wide receiver in the National Football League.
We can talk about that another time.
We sure can.
Yeah,
we sure can.
That's definitely to be continued. All right. So, but all right. So I got 2 more for you, and it's not NFL. This is college.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna close it out like this. Texas football. Everybody knows about this. Arch Manning, right? One of the biggest recruits signing. You know, he's gonna go to Georgia. Maybe I knew he'd never come to Bama, although that was one of the picks. I knew it was with Bama. I thought it was going to Georgia. Ended up going to Texas, right? They don't join the SEC until his junior year. I believe he went to Texas for that particular reason. By the time his junior year, you know, theoretically, they'll probably have a better team because you've still got Steve Sarkisian over there. I can't mess his whole name up. You still have him over there. And it gives them time to recruit because you're coming to the SEC. Now, to sip it, chuck it, throw it away is Arch Manning will be the number 1 pick and win the national title before he graduates.
I will sip it, and I'll say this. I don't like him to win a national championship before he graduates, but I do like him to be the first pick of his draft class because of that last name alone. So he can do mediocre, and he's still going to go just based off his last name.
Yeah, but he's not mediocre. You can't be. When you're somebody like him, that's what's bred.
Well,
and you have everything, like the best of everything, training-wise.
Well, let me word that better. We all know there's a double standard when you have associates or family members that are NFL legends or they have a lot of pull in the National Football League, so you're allowed to get away with certain things that most who don't have those type of resources, they're not able to do. So let's say, for instance, just hypothetical. Let's say his junior year when they go to they transition to the SEC, he has 34 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. You know, for the average kid that probably came from a background, their family members, they don't have any family members in the National Football League, that will hurt their draft stock.
That's horrible.
But
That's horrible
for a guy like him, he's a Manning, he had a minor setback, or they'll probably make excuses. His receivers wasn't running the right routes, or injuries, or whatever it was, or just the transition to the SEC. If he would have had one more year under his belt, maybe he can dominate, being familiar. They're going to make up an excuse to validate, to make sure he stays one of the top picks, if not the number 1 pick. That's what I'm saying.
I'm excited to see what he does in Texas football. I'm excited to see if Texas come back. You know, they come to the SEC, come play that big boy football. So let's see what they got, man. Here's the last one. USC. USC had a big showing. Lincoln Riley, obviously. Caleb Williams follows him, right? Then they go and get Jordan Addison. Pittsburgh. Solid receiver. Probably the best receiver coming out, maybe. We'll see. A lot of good receivers coming out.
Yes, sir.
Nonetheless, USC will make the playoffs. Lincoln Riley's first year at USC.
Let me go ahead
Sip it, chuck it, throw that shit away.
Let me go ahead and sip that. I like them to make
They only play, just so you know, they only played Notre Dame and UCLA, and it's back-to-back the last 2 games of the season. That's actually, good.
I like them to make the playoffs. And I believe offensively, Lincoln Riley will have them scoring, averaging damn near 60 points a game. But their defense is going to be giving up 54. But that's just Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
But I like them to make the playoffs. What they do in the playoffs, yet to be seen.
Because you come and see them SEC boys.
Oh, yeah.
It's a different world over there.
Yeah.
Hey, man. I think that's about it. What do you think? You like the game?
Oh, man.
About to throw a little bit more energy into it, a little bit more sound bites in it next time. It's gonna be nice though. I like it. I think it's a nice little starting point.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna close this out with something a little different. The flavor of the week is from my little brother, who I'm actually gonna play this track for you guys. If y'all can listen to it. And this is his last song when he passed away. My little brother passed away last year, October 2nd, 2021. Yeah, man, 32 years old and way too young to die. So,
yeah, you're right about that, man.
Anyway, R.I.P. Rest in heaven, little bro. And Rosie, next time, sip it, chug it, throw that shit away, man.
Yo, my man, what time is it?
It's flavor of the week time, bruh.
Socks on. How far and how long?
Every single step I take, every little move I make.
Yeah.
I want my light years away.
What's life up when you broke and you stuck in oppression? I'm like years away and I still feel blessings. Couldn't see my damn daughter, now she here in the present. Used to shed tears, multi-years, niggas was stressing. Deep lessons, stuck up in a black hole. Every step I take, you know I'm praying with my damn soul. Deep space, when I travel, let my mind blow. Can't rest in peace, for the streets, you was a real bro. They ain't see you like they looking at a UFO. Couldn't imagine that you go on life with ain't a joke. Think about life, and all the people that will never make it. Constellations in the sky, ain't no limitations. Like years, nigga. Shit, tears.
Feels like I'm like years away.
How far and how long?
I want my light years away. Every single step I take, every little move I make.
Yeah.
How am I still like years away?
Rest in peace, Cam. Know what I'm saying? We miss you, bro. Real. This one's for you, man. Let's get up. Yeah. It's my go. Here we go. Yeah.
It's like the closer I get, it seems the further you go. If I could only get close, I'd have something to hold on to. The feelings that haunt you, same dreams that haunt me. Stay steady like drum beats, rain in hard sheets, tears on soft cheeks. I was busy chasing money in cases like Wall Street. Now I need a starfleet to get close to your heartbeat. So I built an enterprise that matches with Star Trek. Oh, the Star Trek, should I just fall back from the black hole I came? Whatever you call that. I know it's light years from now till I get that call back. I carried the wrong one, still doing the wrong math. And I'm just learning now, I followed the wrong path. Get 'em.
Feels like I'm like years away.
We like years.
Light years.
How I feel like.
Light years.
What I feel like.
Feels like I'm light years
Miss you, dog.
away.
Rest in peace, Cam.
TTC. Robin Sound, let's go.
Boom.